Spear Bix. A spear is a sharp and pointed object. So this is a spear, and this type of birds, kingfishers and storks, they have a spear type of spear beak, which means their beak is like a spear, and with the help of their beak, they can easily kill the fish inside the water. Okay, and let's learn about the other types of beaks. Pelicans is a water bird. Okay, and this bird it mostly eat only fish. This is a pelican bird, and this type of beaks it can hold a lot of water along with the fish. मतलब कि जब मछली को खाते रहेगा ना, वो खाने का टाइम में पानी भी एक साथ और मछली भी एक साथ रखने के लिए, बहुत देर रखने के लिए सकता है बोल रहा है. ओके, एंड दिस इज अ chisel. It is a material object where carpenters they used to in making something, or while or it this type of things are used while doing carpentry works. Okay, so birds such as woodpeckers, they have a chisel shaped beaks. Their mouth is like a chisel, and a bird like woodpecker use their beaks in making a hole in the plant. Okay, or in a big tree. And this is a hoppy's bird. Their beak is known as a slender bix. Okay, this slender bix helps the birds while pulling insects from the ground. And this type of birds, they have a very short beak and sticky mouth. मतलब कि वो लोग का beak जो छोटा है उसके बाद गम गम जैसा है बोल रहा है. Okay, so to fill their stomach, these birds they keep their mouth open while flying so that they can catch easily the insects in mid-air. Okay, so since you have also seen what type of birds does what type of beaks does all these birds have, you have to find out by yourself. Okay, so first of all, you first try to match the names of a bird with the images, and after that only you try to identify their beak and what type of beak they have. Okay, and match it accordingly. ठीक है ना? So this question will be your homework. And next is about the feet of a bird. In the first previous batch, you have learned that all the birds has different types of beak that depends on what it eats, right? So similarly, the feet of a birds also tells us about their eating habits and about the place where they can be found. Birds such as hawks, eagles, and owls have large curved claws, and so this type of claws can catch the other animals and kill easily. Okay, and this type of birds are called the grasping birds. This kind of birds have very large curved claws that can kill, catch, and carry food, and mostly small animals with their feet. And some birds like pigeons, hens, and other birds, they have a very strong feet with nail like those. And while searching for their food, this type of birds, they use their feet to scratch the soil in finding the food. Okay, as you might have also seen how the hens they search for food, right? That is what we can call those birds as scratching birds. And there are birds that can also live in water and as well as in land. which means 3 doors in the front and 1 at their back. See, ducks have webbed doors. These 3 webbed doors are joined together by skin and they are called as webbed feet. And this type of feet, it helps the birds to swim in water. And birds like robins, crows, sparrows, warblers, and thrushes, they are called perching birds because they have 3 pointing doors forward and 1 pointing doors at their backwards. So with the help of these feet, this type of birds, they can easily grasp or perch or hold on to branches or trees. And I told you about some flightless birds, right? So there are some birds that do not fly, like ostrich, but they are very fast in running. Okay, so they are called as running birds. And this is what the bird of ostrich, their legs have. Okay, they have 2 toes instead of 4. मतलब कि 2 ही है, 2 उंगलियां है, उसके बाद their feet are very powerful and very sharp. Okay, they have a very sharp claws, and this, with the help of this sharp claws and feet, it helps the bird to run faster. And birds like woodpeckers and parrots are called climbing birds because they have 2 toes pointing forward and 2 pointing backwards, and it helps them in climbing up, down, and sideways on trees or branches. Okay, and birds like kingfishers and herons are spaced wide to help them wade through water. Matlab, this type of birds, with the help of their feet, they walk near the water bodies such as ponds, lakes, and rivers without sinking into the soft mud. मतलब के पानी का अंदर में नहीं जाके आराम से पानी का जगह में उलुका, they can walk in the water areas without sinking into the soil while finding or while searching for their food. Okay, so this type of birds are called the wading birds. So there are lot of birds in the world, and the ostrich is the largest bird that do not fly, and the hummingbird is the small birds in the world which can fly backward. Okay, let's recall the lesson. Birds are animals that can fly and their bodies are covered with feathers. There are some birds that cannot fly, so this type of birds are called flightless birds. Different types of birds have different eating habits, so each bird's beak suits its eating habit. Carnivorous birds like eagle, owls have hook beaks, and birds like parrots that eat nuts or that eat seeds of a plant, they have a cracker beaks. And some birds such as warblers, they have tweezers beak that eats insects. And water birds such as ducks have to find food from water, so their beaks is like a strainers. Okay, and birds like hummingbirds, they have a beak in the shape of a straw where they can easily suck the nectar of flowers. Some birds have also beaks like the shape of a spear, chisel, and etc. So that is all about our lesson. So you all have heard about the bird of what type of beak or feet they have, right? So accordingly, you try to match this one and submit to me. Okay, let me show you the first one. First let's find out where is parrot. Okay, the image of a parrot is here, so we have to match like this. We match here parrot, this is a parrot, right? And so what type of beak does a parrot have? What type of beak does a parrot have? From here, which one would be the correct one? Propping beak, cracker beak, Slender Bix, Botch beak, long and slender beak. So the answer is cracker beak, right? Okay, this is how you have to do. Okay, the remaining you do it by yourself. All right, we will end up here. Study hard, all of you.